again, everything relates to the fact that, we love Bernie, and especially his 2016 campaign was amazing. He wasn't willing, like we had talked about, to martyr himself. He wasn't willing to fall on the sword, and he really needed to if he wanted to get this country where it needed to go. He basically would have had to give up his political career, any of the financial aspirations he may have had. We may have even had to take a few steps backwards. But most people recognize that not only is the system broken, but the people who are manipulating the system, something as simple as the fact that not everyone, but even some casual political observers now know that our elected representatives do insider trading on Capitol Hill. Like, they break the law. They are trading on inside information. We happen to know a couple of congressional representatives, one who was on our show, who actually participates in that crap. And they want to pretend like, well, this is how the system is. So that's how it is. It's just how it is. And it's like, that's not how it is. Because if you think, like, the election in Italy, that should scare the living hell out of people in this country. Because if it could happen there, you bet your ass it could happen here. Like, we're not that far away from it as far as I can see.
Agreed. Yeah. I was pro Bernie. I was definitely pro Bernie for a bit there. I mean, he goes a little too out into the outskirts, but it's he goes to places I don't agree with. But again, to your point, Jen, I don't have to agree with all of his platform. just the points that are important to me. And I always hashtag what I say by, I'm a middle-class, middle-aged, white dude, heterosexual white dude. Like, I'm the worst right now, right? So my opinion doesn't matter as much as it used to. But that guy was just, I don't want to use crazy, but just out there enough to battle something like a Trump that is also out there.
Exactly.
And that's where the Dems, they really effed it up.
Well, they did. Like, they don't want that. The people that are high up in the Democratic food chain infinitely preferred Trump to Bernie. Like, that's a no contest. Once they realized that it was going to be either Hillary or what that was doing, they were like, no, they would much rather Trump than Bernie.
That speaks to some very flawed thinking, because, I mean, I often say this though, that's your best offer, Hills? Oh,
well, it didn't work. It didn't work because the only way that you can combat populism on the right is with populism on the left. Somebody in the center is not going to pull people that doesn't work. That's just silly. And they're trying, and they're going to do it again. They're going to do it again.
Are they?
Oh, yes. They're gearing up to do it again in 24.
We have no living wage. We have no health care. We have a planet that's on fire. And again, being an artist, we have completely disregarded the arts in our society. It has been completely cast aside in many ways. Endless war. The way that we have treated the situation in Ukraine has become exactly what we should have all feared was going to happen, which is something that could have easily ended probably 4 or 5 months ago with some type of an agreement regarding land usage in regards to NATO. But instead, this is now a proxy war where hundreds of billions of dollars will be passed around amongst the military-industrial complex all over natural resources, like every other damn thing that goes on this planet. And at this point, if you can't see it, there are unfortunately a lot of people who can't be helped, but there's also a lot of people out there who are well aware of what's going on. They just don't want to be involved. They hate this shit.
I don't think there's enough of us. I mean, I always say, we might even said this jokingly when we were talking. It's like, you can't even get 5 people to agree on where to go to dinner. So can you get a movement going? Especially if you can sift through the bales of hay to find the needles that are paying attention, centered instead of way out on the edges, and all these other things that need to be bullet points for someone to be part of a movement that is going to have the courage to admit things are completely jacked up and do the necessary and uncomfortable steps. Well, I don't want to disrupt my way of life. Your way of life is being disrupted. And the people who don't care are the ones who are not being affected that badly. If you're poor, or if you're black or brown, or if you're living in a crap neighborhood or whatever, you are being affected right now. And ironically, the hope, hence the shirt, the hope is gone from those areas. So they're not running out to the ballot because they think the system is a joke. And
it kind of is. It kind of is. And it is mostly political theater. And You're right. They're not interested in voting. And also a lot of people don't have time. They're too busy working too many jobs to try to just keep, a roof above their heads if they can. And so they don't have the luxury of knowing who their senator is because they're too busy trying to feed their kids.
Are they going to do the research that I did? No.
Not.
No, if they have internet in that stinking neighborhood that the city doesn't care about. Oh, man. Yeah, it's happening right here in West Palm Beach. I used to live on the fringe of the famous Tamarind corridor where there's no trash cans and no lights and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not throwing the city of West Palm under the bus because a lot of cities operate in this kind of way. They put the money towards the coast and eventually they'll go over there and do some stuff. And it's happening. But hopefully it doesn't get fully gentrified. But it's just disgusting. I find it disgusting and I'm not even affected by it. I could be lazy. My life's fine. My life has been fine for 10, 15 years. The market does this, the gas goes up and down, and I just keep trucking forward because I got low overhead or whatever the heck. But that's just simply not the case for a majority of people. And I don't know how we're going to affect the change, but I applaud you guys for making a platform where it can be discussed and perhaps a movement can get sparked up.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.